Hi, this is Vaughan from howtoearnmoneyonlineblog.net, and I'm super enthusiastic today to share with you a wicked strategy on how to build a $300,000 a year residual or passive income online. Now, don't let the simplicity of this fool you. It is a very cool and simple technique that you or I can implement. Actually, I am implementing it and I'm on the way to doing this. So I figured I'll share it with you because over the long term, this is going to make a massive difference to your life. So you've got to think with the end in mind. You've got to think, where am I going to be in the next 10 years? Because if you don't start doing it now, it ain't going to happen. So don't let the time scare you. Understand that it's going to come and go anyway. But what I'm going to suggest from the very beginning you do is to take a good old notebook, sit down and dedicate a couple hours per week to figuring out and creating what's called a multiple source of income. And this idea, or technology I should say, really came from Bob Proctor when I did his coaching program a few years ago. And he suggested that you set up multiple streams of income. Now what does that mean? Well, it basically means money coming into your bank account, whether you're awake or not, whether you're working or not. And these things take time to set up, but they shouldn't take that long, and when they get going, they should really start to keep going. So they require little management, in other words. And he has lots of MSIs, so I figured, good advice. So what's the first step? Figure out an idea. Take a blank notebook and think, okay, what interests or passions do I have online that I could sell? You may be interested in sports, so you could become like the golf expert, or you could become like the equestrian horse expert. For me, it was ballroom dancing, because that's what I do. That's a very niche market, but I actually just thought, you know what? When I was in Australia, there was a big problem. I didn't know where to get ballroom and Latin dance gear. Other than a few, probably 2 or 3 of the big names in the world, I had no idea that there was anyone else out there. So when I moved to England, and I learned about all these wonderful suppliers that I didn't hear about in Australia, I went, I think other dancers might have this problem. I did. So I took a little bit of a risk, and I built a website. It cost me £4,000, and I went, all right, I need to make money back from this. So I actually sold advertising space. That's how I was going to recoup the money and make a profit from the website. And you know, I did that. So it wasn't too quickly. It was within a month or so I'd actually sold the advertising space back, and that was before the site actually got finished. Now that's not the point of the story. The point of the story was how the site actually got created. What I did is I took my notepad and I actually opened up the page, and I wrote a couple of lines on the things I needed to do. Like here's the first obvious one: business plan, little checkbox; build website, duh; launch website, really; advertiser list, like contact the advertisers. You know, I could only write probably 5 or 6 lines on this before I stopped, because I never built a website. I never had that done, but I had the idea. You see, I was willing to take a little bit of a gamble to see if it would pay off. I mean, it's only a couple £1,000, so you know, it's no real loss. I'm not going to lose my house or properties or anything of that nature. So you know, why the hell not? You know, you only live once. But if it works, that'll be awesome. Now, I kept writing these things out, and this is what you do: a couple hours a week, put these ideas down. When you get there, you'll know how to get further. It's amazing, because I've got now pages of these things to do, and it gets really nitty gritty. You know, it gets right down to things about going, you know, what to promote for Christmas sales, or things about affiliate signups, execute different promotion plans, you know, adding more links, FAQs, you know, getting all those things organized and in line. But at the beginning of this, I only had a couple of points down, and that's where you start. You start off with a few points and the big idea, and then you niche it out and you get it done. So the couple of hours, not only you're brainstorming, but you're actually actioning it, taking the time to learn, implement, or find someone to do it for you. Now in this case, I got someone to build me the site, because I didn't know how to build sites then. But in any case, the rest of the book was filled up with the dot points. You know, if I had to make a business plan, I made a business plan. If I had to put lists down, I put lists down. You know, you build your idea in your book. Now, what you actually do is you set up a site to earn $10,000 in a year. And what you try to aim for is to build 3 of those in a year. So at the end of the year, you have $30,000 in income. Over 10 years, that's going to be a $300,000 business. Now, if one drops off, so you've got 30 sites turning 10 grand each. If one drops off, you've got 280,000. You really think you're going to cry? Not really. I mean, you might be a little disappointed because your site failed, but that's okay. It's probably going to happen. But guess what? You've got 29 sites still turning over money, right? So 290,000 is still a good deal, correct? So this is why multiple sources of income is really, really awesome, because you've got these sites all funneling money in. If one drops off the perch, boom. Now listen to this. If you have a job and your job drops off, do you have other income coming in? No. So you're going to get a little scared, aren't you? Well, probably if you've never worked on for yourself before. So that is the strategy. It's pretty simple, but it's very powerful, and it is long term. But look, investing is long term. The rule with investing anyway is you don't actually invest to make money. You invest to see if you can make money. So that's actually the main difference. You actually won't know until you go and do it whether or not it's going to work out. But listen, you're going to hit gold if you just keep doing it. Out of those 30 sites, one of them might make $300,000 a month. You just don't know. There's lots of money on the internet out there, and it's up for grabs. So that's your strategy. Simply follow the instructions below or visit my page. Now, what I'd like to do is send you more hints and tips. If you're not on my email list, you need to get on it because I've got great information to send you. Simply put your email in. I'll send lots of bonuses to you and all sorts of cool stuff that you can implement right now into your business. This is Vaughn signing out. Thanks very much.